Good morning.
Good morning, everyone.
Welcome to the Center for Spiritual Living, North Metro. I'm Reverend Michael Torphy.
I'm Reverend Valerie Torphy.
And today we have with us Ernie, who's training to produce our shows. And Greg's doing the training. And we got Ernestine, who's going to do our reading. And we got the one, the only Robin Hackett, who's feeling a little under the weather, but she's a sport and decided to come and do it anyway. We bless her. Let's get started. And so we asked Robin to give us her first song. We look forward to it. Oh, yeah. Oops. I'm going to evocate us.
That'd be good.
So join me by closing your eyes and going within and recognizing that pure spirit dwells right there, right at the center of your core. It is the loving light that lights up the world. It is everywhere present, so it is present right where you are this beautiful, glorious day. And so I give thanks for this day, knowing that God has made it perfect for each and every one of us, perfect experience through this service today, perfect experience through every activity of your life. Perfection is the call for today. And so I'm so grateful knowing that this service unfolds in its splendor and glory, and everybody receives exactly what they came here to receive. For this and so much more, I say thank you, Spirit. Thank you, life.
Thank you.
And so I release, let go. And together we say,
and so it is.
Now we did, Robin. I got anxious. I wanted to hear you, so.
My soul's desire, my heart's desire, let go and let God. And in this moment, in every hour, I let go. And I let God, let go, let go, let go, let God, let God. My soul's desire, my heart's desire, let go and let God. And in this moment, in every hour, I let go and I let God, let go, let go, let go, let God, let God, let go, let go, let go, let God, let God.
Yay.
Love you.
Thank
So
you.
much.
Wow, you did it. What a trooper.
Yeah. Thank you.
We love you.
Yes.
I love
Thank
you.
you.
Thank you.
Okay, well, we're going to do some business and we'll be right back to you for another
right.
song.
I'll be here.
Okay.
Okay, rest.
So like us and check in on Facebook at cslnorthmetro.org. Go to our website, cslmetro.org, northmetro.org, sorry. Go to contact us and add yourself to the email list. If you go to the label at the top that says prayer request, you can add yourself to a prayer request, and also the prayers and the prayers and the affirmations that Stephan writes are out there for the whole year. So there's lots of prayer. And somebody wrote a new blog this week, so I put that up yesterday. Mm-hmm. And if you shop on Amazon and you're not supporting another charity, please consider supporting the Center for Spiritual Living North Metro. And you can just go to smile.amazon.com and sign up for supporting us. And you pay the same price for everything, but we get paid a little bit for every time you shop. So that's really nice. Today's title is Release and Let Go. You've already met Robin. And the reading today is from The Power of Now, A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle, author of The Power of Now. And it's a great book. So I think Ernestine's going to do our affirmations now. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, everyone. I'm just waiting for Greg to put them up, and then I will read them.
It's Ernie today.
Yeah. They're having a conversation over there about it, so it's coming.
Okay. I'm here. Affirmations for the week of August 8th, 2021. Please, everyone, repeat after me. I am a healing presence in the world.
I am a healing presence in the world.
Every moment I embrace my oneness with God.
Every moment I embrace my oneness with God.
I walk upon the path to enlightenment always.
I walk upon the path to enlightenment always.
Gratitude and compassion guide every experience of my life.
Gratitude and compassion guide every experience of my life.
The radiant light of the universe is within me.
The radiant light of the universe is within me.
I surrender to the loving guidance of Spirit here and now.
I surrender to the loving guidance of Spirit here and now.
And together we say, and so it is. The reading for today, as Reverend Valerie said, is a book titled A New Earth by Eckhart Tolle. If you can be absolutely comfortable with not knowing who you are, then what is left is who you are, the being behind the human, a field of pure potentiality, rather than something that is already defined. Giving up defining yourself, to yourself or others, you won't die. You will come to life. And don't be concerned how others define you. When they define you, they are limiting themselves. So it is their problem. Whenever you interact with people, don't be there primarily as a function or a role, but as a field of consciousness presence. Why does the ego play roles? Because of an unexamined assumption, one fundamental error, one unconscious thought, and that thought is, I am not enough. Other unconsciousness thoughts follow. I need to play a role in order to get what I need to be fully myself. I need to get more so I can be more, but you cannot be more than you are, because underneath your physical and psychological form, you are one with life itself, one with being. In form, you are and will always be inferior to some and superior to others. In essence, you are neither inferior or superior to anyone. True self-esteem and true humility arise out of that realization. In the eyes of the ego, self-esteem and humility are contradictory. In truth, They are one in the same. And together we say, and so it is.
Thank you, Ernestine.
Thank you,
That was
Ernestine.
lovely.
Appreciate your service.
Yeah.
Got another song.
Yeah.
Looking forward to it.
Yes.
All right, here's Robin Hackett doing what she does so wonderfully.
That's right.
Up from the ashes, awake from your sleep. Who'd have believed that you'd rise to see that it's all so perfect? The laughter and the pain, and there's nothing more beautiful than a flower in the rain. Well, I saw you under, and I saw you down. I think you were lost, but now you are found. And it's so amazing to see you again. And there's nothing more beautiful than a flower in the rain. And in between summer and winter, there lies the promise of spring. And teardrops are raindrops in season, and you're glowing, and you're growing, and you're growing. Oh, I saw you stumble, and I saw you fall. But look at you now, you've come through it all, and it's all so perfect. The laughter and the pain, and there's nothing more beautiful than a flower in the rain. There's nothing more beautiful than a flower in the rain. Yeah, there's nothing more beautiful than a flower in the rain. Ooh.
So beautiful.
You are our flower in the rain.
Wow.
That
I'm
was,
a flower in the rain. Yes.
we love you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
We're going to do our thing now, and we'll see you in a little bit.
Here you are.
That was beautiful.
That was beautiful.
Let's give her some more love.
That's good. That was great.
So, I just want to remind us of who and what we are. We are pure light, intelligent energy, and we're here to light up the world. That's all we're here for. Everything else is just adds on to that light, but it's important to remember and to recall it often that I am the light of the world. And as that is true for me, that is true for everybody who's tuned in today or listening.
Mm-hmm.
It's the absolute truth. We are the light of the world. And that means that anything that may block it or prevent it from shining needs to be released and let go of.
That's right.
Plain and simple.
Yes.
I release, I let go. I let go of everything that blocks my light because it is my loving honor to be able to do what I do. It is my loving honor to live this sacred life that is so uplifting and so inspiring all the time. You know, it's funny because as I say that, I'm recalling how crazy the world is. I mean, we can turn on the TV and discover that it's true. The world's crazy. And as crazy as it is today, you turn on your TV and listen to the news tomorrow, and it's something even crazier. The craziness is all around us, and it's up to us not to get caught into it, not to worry about it, because we're not it, and it's not us. We're more than that. We're the perfection of the living spirit. We are God incarnate. We are perfection, always and forevermore. So don't worry. Be happy. Sounds like a song, huh?
It does. I wonder why.
I don't know. And I'm not going to break into it. There are things that are sometimes hidden deep within us that is calling for us to release and let go of. Things like guilt or fear or worry or pain that you may have suffered and you're still hanging on to it. And I kind of look at getting rid of that as like when you release and let go, it's like turning up a dimmer light. It brightens your light even that much more. So there are 4 things that I think of when I want to release something, let it go. And those 4 things are redefine, refresh, renew. That's 3. Oh, there's 3 things. No, there's 4. There's the last one. Redefine, refresh, renew. Where is it? I guess that's it.
Release.
Oh, yes.
I wondered why you hadn't said that, but hey.
Well, it's one of those days. Anyway, top one is release. And it's so interesting that all the individuals that are here had it, gave it to me, and I'm going to move on with it. So the most important thing in releasing is to set an intention. And how do I do that? Well, I set an intention. I intend that whatever is in, let's say it's worry. My intention is to let go of worry, to not allow it to be part of any experience that I have or will have. And the next part would be to imagine letting it go, to visualize it. And in classes, we do a lot of guided visualizations, and we can do that ourselves. We can guide ourselves into a visualization of the worry sort of melting away like a candle, or like a tornado just wiping it out, or like maybe stick of dynamite blowing it up. We visualize that worry just disintegrating within us, and then we empower it with directive prayer. And what I mean by directive prayer is you focus your entire treatment or prayer on letting go of the worry, that it has no power over you. It's in truth nothing. So it's letting go of nothing. It's just stepping into the true self, the empowered self, the light that you are. And we will constantly have to refresh, because sometimes we let go and we're going along really good in our day, and then that worry creeps back in, and it starts the same pattern over and over again. So we move back into, this is my intention. It has no power over me. I see it being exploded into the nothingness from which it came, and it can never fill me with its powerless intentions. And so you may have to refresh that for 2 days, a week, a month. Sometimes big worries last even longer than that. Mm-hmm. But again, they're nothing. So nothing can be let go of as easily as letting go of anything else that you want to let go of. And then it's good to redefine what that experience was that caused the worry. And when I say redefine, it's like if I'm worried about what's going on in the world, I can redefine it by saying what's going on in the world is purposeful, so the world can awaken to its greater yet to be, that everything that's taken place is just the garbage that has been hidden for so long, waiting to be released. And it's waiting on one of us. It's waiting on all of us to release it. That's us again, the light of the world, the light that we've come here to brighten the world. And if this all, if you can't come up with anything because it doesn't feel real to you, or it doesn't seem like the truth, then say it anyway. Say it as if that it is already done. And if you can say it enough and believe it enough, then that is as if it will come true in your life, and your experience will be a renewal. You'll be renewed. And once you've broken through that, it's a constant celebration. You may be in conversation with somebody else that's going through worry, and you can say, I stood and moved through that worry, and I realized it had no power on me. It couldn't function in me anymore. And so you become a carrier of the truth for other people. And this renewal can happen all the time. I had the great experience of taking classes and moving on to be a practitioner and TAing in classes and being able to.
You should say what that is.
What is?
TA.
Oh, TA, teacher's assistant.
Yeah.
With some great ministers, and got to share my truth of releasing worry or guilt or whatever it was at the time. And we can all do that. We can all have that same opportunity. And there's folks out there waiting for you to be the light that they didn't know was there. So if you really want to shine your brightest, then release, let go. Anything that's holding you back, anything that's preventing you to be the true, to reveal the true nature of who you are. And you will find that this is a glorious world. And you will find that you were meant to be here and now. And you were meant to bring the light that you are forevermore. All right.
So I think it's really interesting that we got the male's perspective when he talked about blowing it up. About half of the world got that. The rest of us are going to go through a waterfall or something different. But that's good. That's why there's two perspectives up here, because blowing it up is good for some people, and others would rather do it more gently.
I like to get over fast. I mess around. Just get it, boom.
So I want to talk a little bit about what the role the ego plays in this. And the reading that Ernestine read from Eckhart Tolle talks about the roles that we play, because the ego feels like it needs something or wants something or doesn't have something. And so we play these roles. And that is really, once we get who we are, once we get that we're divine, we don't actually have to play those roles. But until we get that way, we do play those roles. And so, because the ego doesn't understand that the energy's within, it seeks it from the outside. So it's always trying to get something from someone else or from somewhere else, or if I get this, then I'll be happy. And if I get that, then I'll be happy. And if I don't do this, then I'll be happy. And it's always out there. And so it's, as long as it's out there, it's never lasting. I mean, we've talked before about you go shopping and you buy a new thing and it causes this momentary happy. And, so some things are bigger than other things. And so it causes a little more momentary happiness. And it doesn't last because it's not a within thing. And so it's a thing that has to be happening over and over and over. Or so sometimes if we don't get the attention that we want by just sometimes we have to act out to get the attention. So instead of doing a positive thing, we do a really negative thing so that we get the attention that we want. And that's all the ego thing, because that inner light, that inner source, that spirit within doesn't need any of that, because that part of us knows who we are.
You see that happening with kids.
Well, exactly.
Kids practice that all the time.
We got to see that a little bit this week. Eckhart Tolle talks about, and when you see things in anger and when you see those things, if you don't give those things any power, then they melt away. And so it's really important that we recognize not to feed those things, not to feed that need for I'm not good enough or that. Because if we do blow it up or however we do that, if we just recognize that the truth of our being is that we have everything, that we are everything. But Eckhart Tolle also talks about suffering and how suffering is what melts the ego away. So he actually says burns it up. And so he talks about the suffering in the world burning the ego up. And so that's a really different way of thinking of things, that sometimes we don't wake up to who we are without the suffering. So we don't have to stay in the suffering, because once we get it, then we don't have to stay there. But we can recognize when the suffering's happening, there are ways to get out of it. And you talked a lot about that, but that also is burning our ego away. And so that's part of the human experience. And he talks about, I hope I can find this. Oh, yes. The human is form and the being is formless. And so we're that human form being God. And so I just think that's an important thing to remember, that when we get stuck in doing, he talks about people who do, and I was like, oh dear, I'm pretty talking about me. And how we can think if we just do this and we do, we're going to get what we want. But if we get to the place where we're doing with awareness, where we're doing with the understanding of who we are and the truth of who we are, then we are doing and being. Doing and being. And so he also talks about when we start recognizing that love within us, and then we recognize that love within others, and then we become that love, and then we spread that love, that is the beingness. And it's that love is the thing that's going to take us out of that ego and out of the suffering and out of the places that we are. So he says, I love this one. Love makes the world less worldly, less dense, more transparent to the divine dimension, the light of consciousness itself. Mm-hmm. I'd say that one more time, because I just think that's really powerful.
Yes.
Love makes the world less worldly, less dense, more transparent to the divine dimension, the light of consciousness itself. That gives me chills. Yeah. So I think it's the same thing you said, but I'm going to just say, I hope in a different way. Whenever there's negative in us, once we can be aware at the moment that there's something within us, which is the ego or our thoughts, that takes pleasure in the negativeness, then we've had a breakthrough and we understand we don't need it anymore. But there are a lot of people who live their lives in that constant state of unhappiness and searching and wanting to be. And we have the opportunity to look beyond that in ourselves and go, oh, this is the ego playing roles to get what it wants, and we're never going to get what we want or what we need through the ego. We have to always get it through our beingness. We have to always get it through the space of love within us.
I was just thinking of that show that we watch about, what's it called? About the guy that comes into restaurants that are losing money and
Robert Irvine.
Yeah, Robert Irvine. And he had this couple, gay couple, who one was investing all the money and the other one was supposed to be running this pizza restaurant. And it was they were almost $1 million in debt. And he walked in and the first thing he saw on the wall was happiness. And it was funny because the guy who ran the restaurant had just all this anger inside of him and he wasn't happy at all. And Robert talked to him and brought out of him this painful experience he had as a child and the hell he had to go through by being gay and not being able to say it. And it just built and built and built until he was taking out on these two people that worked for him who he loved. I mean, he loved them, absolutely. He loved them so much that they were both having problems and they moved them into their home and was taking care of them. But
he yelled at him all the time.
He yelled at him all the time.
Because he was mad.
So there was the ego trying to protect itself from being hurt any further. Even though he had a way of showing his love, he hid it behind his facade of anger and just needed to be released. And Robert's really good at doing that. He walks in and he just tells them the way it is and calls it straight. And we have to do that for ourselves. We have to look at ourselves and say it straight, tell it like it is, and then let it go, release it, let it all go. Because as I said in the beginning, we're here to do one thing, and that is allow our light to shine and allow it to shine upon the world and shine upon every and each individual that we come across everywhere we go, no matter where it is. Yes?
Yes. So here's another quote from the book. He says, if in the midst of negativity, we're able to realize, at this moment, I am creating suffering for myself. As soon as we can do that, at this moment, I am creating suffering for myself, then we'll be able to rise above the limitations, rise above the egoic stuff that's going on, rise above our reactions, and just begin to recognize the beingness that is really the truth of who we are. And that, like you said, is where all the power is. That's where, love is the most powerful thing. And not reacting when someone else is going through their stuff. Sometimes I know we do, allow ourselves to be just kind of pulled into that negativity that they're creating. And so just recognizing, oh, so you're having an egoic moment.
You don't have to say that to them.
No, to ourselves. Because then we can realize if I respond with anything, that's going to give it power. But if I just give it love, that sucks the power right out of it.
Okay, I'm having an egoic moment. I gotta release this egoic moment. You said that I blew things up. I also said use a candle to melt things away. So that's a slow process and there's a fast process. So I was actually tapping into my male and female.
I stand corrected.
The ego had to release that. But it's all fun. And if you can make fun out of releasing and letting go, if you can laugh at yourself, that's a step in the right direction.
So I did hear you say that part. But you did that very little, and then you blew things up a lot. And that's the only reason I said that. And I didn't say it as a comment. I said that as there's a male way to do things, and there's a different way to do things, and so I'm just bringing it up.
Okay, honey.
Release. Let it go. Release. Let it go.
I release and I let it go.
I want to hear more about the waterfall.
We got a question from the congregation who wants to hear more about the waterfall.
What waterfall?
And there it is, folks. Well, this has been an interesting service, and I hope you all enjoyed it as much as we have. And I think we should go into prayer. What do you think?
Yeah, I think that's
Were you finished? I'm sorry, were you finished?
I guess I am. I don't know. I've lost everything I might have been going to say. It's
Okay.
all right.
All right. Well, let's turn within and allow that laughter to just percolate inside of you. Allow the joy to envelop you and move outside of you and move in the room you're in, touching each person that may be in that room, moving even wider to the city you live in, and even wider to the state you live in, and even wider to our country and all across the globe and into the universe, into infinity. And right there, right at the center of your being, all that is.
Mm-hmm.
Your perfection, your love, your beauty, your joy, your freedom, your clarity, your inspiration, your radiance, all that, and so much more. God is as you. You are as God. One perfect, whole, and complete. And so I give thanks for this glorious day, for all the beautiful people that are underneath our roof, for all the beautiful people that have tuned in today to watch and enjoy this service together. I give deep gratitude for knowing that I make a difference in the world.
Yes.
And as I see the world at peace, as I see the world letting go of all the egoic structures that keeps us from being an amazing human presence on this planet, I can see it and I can hold it. And I call to each person tuned in to us today to do the same. Just hold that space. That's all you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
And so I send out the blessings and light to all those that are suffering, all those that are in pain, all those that may be witnessing atrocious things, all those that may be in lack and limitation. I send out my light and love and ask those participating in this service today to do the same. And as we spread our light, the light becomes brighter. And so I know that this truth is happening now, here and now. I accept it, and I pass to Reverend Valerie.
So in absolute gratitude, I just recognize the oneness of each one of us with the one power and the one presence, with all that is. And know that as each one of us makes that difference within ourselves, to let go of what no longer serves us and accept our oneness and our light and our love and our peace and our absolute divinity. I know that we light that candle,
Mm-hmm.
and that we are able to pass that candle on into the world as we share that love and that light and that peace and that truth with one another,
Mm-hmm.
as we recognize that egoic moment when it comes up and laugh at it and let it go,
Mm-hmm.
and
Yes.
just move back into that oneness where we know everything is love and is peace and is truth and is
Yes.
joy and is harmony. That is the truth of our beings. And this form that we have taken to let go of the things that need to be healed, that
Mm-hmm.
we are here to do that healing and to create that love and that oneness. And so I know that is the truth of our being. I know that
Yes.
is happening right here and right now.
Yes.
I know that it's happening in this room. I know that we're spreading it out across the planet with all of the people that are doing their work in Centers for Spiritual Living and in all of the locations across the world, and in all of the other places where people are doing that same work too, that we
Yes.
are lighting those candles and becoming that light and being that brightness. And so I'm so grateful for this truth, grateful for this time together, grateful to know that this word is done in the mind of God. It's absolutely done. It is coming in the form right here and right now. And so in absolute gratitude for this, I release this word into the spirit of love. I release it into the action of the law, absolutely knowing it is done. And together we say,
And so it is.
Amen, Amen, Aho, and woohoo!
Yeah.
Okay. Are you ready for some music? Yes. Yay.
That
Hi.
was the best Burns and Allen routine that I've seen in a long time.
Say goodnight, Gracie.
Oh, that was good. All right. You may wonder what this world is coming to, with all the ups and downs that you've been through. But there's more than the eye eternity. So be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. And when those clouds roll in, don't you worry now. Before you know it, you'll be up with the sun. And on this world goes round and round. But in the chaos, there's something to be found. So be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Don't you worry about the rain upon your shoulder. Don't you worry if the sun don't shine. Don't you worry if there's enough for tomorrow. For if you go inside, you will see you are a shining light. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know all is well. All is well, all is well. Be still and know. Be still and know. Be still and know.
Oh,
So good.
every song you picked is so in tune with the service, and I always get so tickled and feel so good that we let Spirit guide us and direct us. And
Oh, yes, yes. Me
that was an
too.
awesome song. Thank you so much.
You're
And we
welcome.
got one more to go. As soon as we do the
Yeah.
business, we look
Yeah.
forward to it.
All right.
Okay.
Okay. So I'm going to pick up this little basket. You're going to tell people what to do.
So I always invite people to open their hearts and see where you're at as far as giving. And even though you give other places, that's okay too. But we invite you to consider your love towards the work that we do, because we're a small but mighty group. And I know that there's growth here, and everything you contribute will help in that growth. So just see where you're at. If you got a yes, then we accept the good that you have to share, and we know that it will do good work and come back to you multiplied.
Yes. And so you can, if you use Venmo, you can use the QR code that's going to come up on the screen in just a minute. You can text YouGive, YUGIVE, to 888-364-GIVE. The easiest way is to go to our website, cslnorthmetro.org, and there's a couple ways to give out there, and you can give once or you can set it up to repeat, and we take checks. So yeah,
There's one in the basket over there.
there is. So
And it just flew from out of nowhere.
no,
Didn't?
no.
Okay.
I
I'm
think
gonna
it got delivered.
You can have your fantasy. I'll have
Okay.
my fantasy.
You want to bless him?
I'm going to bless it. So join me if you're out there watching, and those that are here, and shine your light, realizing that your light makes a difference. And so together, let's say, repeat after me. Thank you, Pure Spirit.
Thank you, Pure Spirit.
Thank you for this opportunity to live and give.
Thank you for this opportunity to live and give.
We give so with no strings attached,
We give so with no strings attached,
but knowing that they come back multiplied.
knowing that it comes back multiplied.
Accepting this divine gift of giving
accepting this divine gift of giving.
I let go.
I let go.
I let God.
I let God.
And I allow it to be.
And I allow it to be.
And together we say, and so it is.
Yay.
Yay.
And one more song.
Yes.
Yay.
Once again, Robin Hackett.
Yay. Do a little dance.
Do a little dance. Make a little love.
Yeah, I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No, 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 no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. And I release, I let go, I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. Ugh.
Yeah.
Nice.
I just want to point out once again the spirit that you sang your songs today was mind-blowing and incredible and just absolutely worth admiring. So you go take care of yourself, have some hot tea and get some rest and get better. We love you. You'll be in our prayers this week. Thank you, Robin.
So join us on Zoom following the service and share your aha moments. There's going to be a link right at the bottom of the screen. You can go. Oh, no, it's in the comments, isn't it? And so there's a link in the comments. And now it's at the bottom of the screen. And sign up for the email so that you get those links sent to you so you have them ahead of time.
And I want to thank Ernie for jumping in there and taking the training, and Greg for doing the training, because we can use their service. Thank you, Ernie. Thank you, Greg.
Thank you.
And have a beautiful week.
Yeah.
Stay positive, live life to the fullest, and know that your light is worth shining.
That's right.
Thank you, and God bless.
Light those candles, Kip said.
Yeah. Or blow them up. Oh, benediction.
We're done. Do a benediction.
Okay. Here we go. How good it is to live life to the fullest, to recognize who and what we are, to recognize the possibility and potential that dwells within us, and let it loose. Let it just spread across this planet. We do so together as we join in that oneness of pure spirit, knowing everything is in divine order. Nothing can hurt, harm, or endanger us. We are eternal beings, and for this and so much more, I am grateful. And in gratitude, I invite you to say, and so it is. Yeah. Once again, see you later, alligator.
Bye, everyone. Have a great week.
Thank you, Robin.
You're welcome.
Bye.
Bye.